and welcome to the Storybox Project. My name is Rachel and this is our boats and water theme. And in this activity we are going to do a water-inspired movement using a piece of fabric. Now we know that water can flow differently depending on where it is. So water in the canal or in a river might flow differently to water that is out at sea in the ocean. In a canal or a river, it might flow quite slow and steady, and in the ocean and at sea might be a bit noisier, might make a bit more crashing noise and have bigger waves. So we are going to use a piece of fabric to explore the different ways that water might move. Now I have got a thin scarf here with me, quite a lightweight feel to it, and I'm going to use this as for my movements. Now you just need something that is lightweight, so you could use a piece of fabric, you could use a scarf, a tea towel, a napkin, anything that's got a nice movement to it. But if you don't have anything like this, then you can just use your arm and your hand to mimic the flow of the water. So you could just use that if you wish. Okay, so first of all, let's just see how our fabric moves. So hold it out in front of you and just give it a wiggle. Does it move quite easily or does it move quite stiff? See how your fabric moves. Mine does have a nice free-flowing movement to it, which is why I've chosen this one for my water. Lovely. Okay, so let's now start to think about water, and let's think about water maybe in a canal or in a river. So how might it move? Now, I think it would move quite slowly, be quite steady, might just have a little ripple every now and then. Sometimes you get a couple of bubbles coming up to the surface. It might have a little trickle down between a few rocks, but generally quite steady and slow. So let's try and do that with our fabric. So I'm going to use the words steady and slow. So we can hold our fabric out in front of us again. And how do we think that would move in the river and the canal? So steady and slow. So I'm just going to ripple it round backwards and forwards in quite a slow way. And so there might be a little ripple every now and then. So I might just ripple it to one side and then ripple it to the other side. Quite soft movements. Maybe it's going to trickle down through a rock. So I might just make it go thin as if it's going through a rock, like that. Fantastic. Okay, now let's think about water out at sea. So thinking about the ocean and how the water might move in the ocean. So I am imagining that it's quite a rough and choppy sea. So I think that it would be loud waves crashing, big waves folding in on itself in the ocean. Quite fast moving and quite fast flowing, I think, as well. Moves up and down a lot. Okay, so I am going to try and do that with my fabric now. So if you hold your fabric out in front of you as well. So let's use those words fast, I think, and rough and choppy waves. So how do we think that might look with our scarf? So I'm going to move it much faster, like that. You can start to see bigger waves appearing. I might have a big wave over here, and then move it to the other side and have a big wave over here as well. Moving it up and down quite a lot as well. So I have a big big movements with our fabric. And let's maybe bring it higher and bring it lower. And maybe imagine that you've got a wave crashing. So how could you do that with your fabric? I think I might just throw mine forward like that. Hold it up in one hand. Oh, and throw it forward. It might fall on the floor and then it's like a splashing wave. Okay, so let's try and put those different movements with our fabric together. So let's hold our fabric out in front of us again. And we'll start with a nice, gentle, flowing canal. So they're with a quite slow and steady movements. Nice and calm. Might have a little ripple, but generally quite slow and steady. And then it's starting to pick up a bit, the water. Maybe we're getting a bit close to the sea. And it's just starting to get a bit choppier, the waves. Settles down again. So a big choppy wave and then it settles down again. Okay, and now I think we're on the sea and it's starting to get quite rough now. So move your fabric a lot faster. You might get higher waves at one side and then they settle down, and higher waves at the other side. Generally more choppy, very busy, up and down with our fabric. Quite rough seas. Not sure I would like to sail out on these. And then maybe there's a big wave, so we can bring our fabric up and crash down again. And again, big wave and crashing down. See how your fabric moves. Okay, now I think the sea is starting to get a bit calmer again now as well. So it's starting to settle down a bit more now. So maybe it's still quite up and down, but I guess maybe a bit slower. It's just starting to settle down again. And then maybe just a ripple every now and then. Generally quite slow and steady until it's calm and still. Lovely, well done everyone. That is a great way of moving our fabric inspired by the sea and the rivers and the canals and the water that is around us. Now, if you would like to have a go at using a big piece of fabric, if there's maybe two of you, you could share it and hold the fabric at either side. You could even try and put a paper boat on your fabric and see if you can make the boat ride the waves of your choppy seas. But thank you for joining in with this activity. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you would like to access some more Storybox resources, then you can do these on our website. There's a link in the description below for you. And if you would like to be notified whenever we upload a new video to this channel, then just click the subscribe button below and we will let you know every time we post a new video. But thank you for joining in this Storybox activity. Bye for now.